Welcome to second year BSc fourth semester statistics students. This is KVR Narasimha, lecturer in statistics, Sri Venkateswara College of Arts and Science, Amalapuram, East Godavari district, affiliated to Adikavi Nana University, Rajahmundry. This semester you have a statistics paper named Statistical Inference. In the first year, in the two semesters, in the first semester, you have learned about descriptive statistics. In the second semester, you learned about distribution theory. And the second year, first semester, we have learned about bivariate data, correlation, and regression analysis, curve fitting, correlation ratio, attributes, and exact sampling distributions, that is chi-square T F Z distributions. In the second semester, you need to learn about statistical inference. Statistical inference is a part of statistics among the 5 branches of statistics. So what are the 5 branches of statistics? Statistics have mainly, one is theoretical or mathematical statistics. Second one is functional statistics. Third one is inferential statistics. Fourth one is applied statistics. And fifth one is descriptive statistics. These are the 5 branches of statistics. So among the 5 branches, statistical inference is a subject which is very much related to agricultural, medical, and industrial sectors. In the statistical inference, we have mainly statistical estimation and statistical hypothesis. So this paper of statistical inference have mainly 5 units. Unit 1 is theory of estimation. This theory of estimation explains parameter, population, sample, statistics, sampling distribution, good estimator, criteria for good estimator, unbiasedness, consistency, efficiency, and sufficiency. And the statement of Neyman-Pearson's factorization, Fisher-Neyman factorization theorem, estimation of parameters by the method of moments, maximum likelihood estimation, and properties of maximum likelihood estimator, and MLEs for binomial, Poisson, and normal population. Next one is confidence interval and interval estimation. This is the first unit. Whereas the second unit consisting of, the title is concept of statistical hypothesis. This statistical hypothesis consisting of components null and alternative hypothesis, critical region, types of errors, level of significance, power of the test, one-tailed, two-tailed tests, Neyman-Pearson's lemma, examples of binomial, Poisson, and normal distribution. Now we go to Unit 3 syllabus. This Unit 3 having its title large sample tests. distinction between small sample and large samples, and test procedure in sampling theory, large sample test, small sample test, and tests based on large samples for one sample and two sample tests. Now, Unit 4, small sample tests. Small sample tests based on chi-square test, chi-square goodness of it, chi-square independent of attributes, student t statistic, student t tests, test for single mean, double mean, paired t test, test for single correlation, partial correlation coefficient, and test based on Snedeker's F distribution, that is test for difference of two variances, multiple correlation coefficient, correlation ratio, and linearity of regression, and more than two means. And last one is non-parametric test, that is the 5th unit, non-parametric tests. Definition of non-parametric tests, distinction between parametric and non-parametric tests, advantages and disadvantages of NP tests, one sample and two sample run tests, median test, and sign test. This is the syllabus of your paper, 4th semester statistics paper, inference theory. Now we go to original topic, that is the first unit, that is estimation. Before going to the original topic, first we have to learn about some basic preliminaries which are very much required and frequently used in this paper. They are among them are, first one is population. They aggregate the whole objects under study for finding a character or characteristics is called population or universe. That means a group of individuals that what we have chosen in the inference theory is called population. For example, the average marks of a class, then the whole students, all the students in the class is population. Similarly, whether to test the effect of the prevention capacity of vaccination, then the people who have been already vaccinated is chosen as population. That is the definition and explanation of population. Hence, they aggregate the whole objects under study for finding a character or characteristics is called population or universe. The population may contains animates or inanimates, and population may be finite or infinite. The population observations are generally denoted by capital Y1, capital Y2, etc., capital YI, etc., capital YN. And the number of units in the population is called population size. It is generally denoted by capital N. That is population and population size. The population size, capital N, is always finite. The population size is not always finite. It may be finite or infinite. Next one is parameters. The characteristics computed from population observations. The characteristics computed for the population observations are called parameters. These are generally denoted by theta. For example, whether the rice is boiled or not, from a bowl of boiling rice, the average variance, standard deviation, correlation, regression, all these can be calculated by using population observations. Then these statistical constants are called parameters. Hence, parameters can also be defined as the statistical constants computed from population observations are called parameters. Example, population mean mu, population variance sigma square, population standard deviation sigma. If y1, y2, capital Y1, capital Y2, etc., capital Yi, etc., capital Yn or capital N population observations, then population mean mu is equal to y1 plus y2 plus etc., yi plus etc., y capital N by capital N. Simply denoted by mu is equal to 1 by capital N sigma I equal to 1 to capital N yi. Similarly, population variance sigma square is equal to 1 by capital N sigma I equal to 1 to n yi minus y bar or yi minus mu whole square, because y bar is same as mu. We have already given the formula for population mean y bar or yn bar or mu. Some others may call it as capital Y suffix capital N bar can be written at the top of y, or capital Y bar or mu, whatever may be. Population variance sigma square is equal to 1 by capital N sigma I equal to 1 to capital N yi minus mu whole square. Population standard deviation sigma is equal to square root of population variance. We can also compute population correlation coefficient, population regression coefficients, population correlation ratio, etc. Next one is, in certain cases, the population characteristics cannot be computed practically. For example, the average marks of a class, when how many number of students exist in the class, if time is available, then we can calculate the average marks of the class. If the resources are not restricted, then in certain cases the parameters can be calculated. Even the resources may be permitted, even the resources may be not restricted. In certain cases, the parameters cannot be computed. For example, whether the rice is boiled or not, from a bowl of boiling rice, the whole rice in the bowl is population. The characteristics of the whole rice are called parameters, but whether the rice is boiled or not cannot be computed by the whole rice into population, whole rice into consideration. So it means the parameters cannot be computed directly in certain cases. In those cases, we can depend on an alternative method. The alternative method is sample. What is meant by sample? A finite subgroup of the population is called sample. A finite subgroup of the population is called sample. That means sample always finite. It is a subset of the population. Why sample is required? Sample is necessary when the parameters cannot be computed directly, or if the parameters can be calculated directly but the resources are very restricted, then sample is the only alternative to compute the parameters. So the number of the sample observations can be generally denoted by small y1, small y2, etc., small yi, etc., small y, small n. Or some others may use small x1, small x2, etc., small xi, etc., small x, small n. Ith sample observation is denoted by yi or xi, I equal to 1 to small n. And the number of units in the sample is generally denoted by small n. It is otherwise called sample size. The sample size is always finite, whereas population size capital N may be finite or infinite, but sample size is always finite. What is sample? Example for sample means whether the rice is boiled or not from a bowl of boiling rice, the whole rice in the bowl is our population. The characteristics of the whole rice is parameter. And a spoon of rice is taken from the bowl of boiling rice. That spoon of rice is sample because it consisting of finite number of particles and it is a subgroup of the population. That is sample. The characteristics computed from sample observations are called statistics. Or the statistical constants computed from sample observations are called statistics. For example, a spoon of rice is taken from the bowl of boiling rice. The characteristics, that means whether the rice is boiled or not, can be tested by taking that spoon of rice, and that spoon of rice is boiled, then we conclude that the whole rice is boiled. The characteristics of the spoon of rice is what we have taken from the population is called statistic. The statistic may also called as statistical constants. The statistics can be computed in all practical situations. Various statistics are sample mean, small yn bar is equal to 1 by small n, sigma I equal to 1 to small n yi, or x bar is equal to 1 by small n, sigma I equal to 1 to n xi. Sample variance small s square is equal to 1 by small n, sigma I equal to 1 to small n yi minus yn bar whole square. Sample mean square s square is equal to 1 by n minus 1 sigma I equal to 1 to n yi minus yn bar whole square. This implies small s square is equal to small n minus 1 s square. Similarly, n sigma square is equal to n minus 1 s square also, because of population mean square. Capital S square is equal to 1 by capital N minus 1 sigma I equal to 1 to capital N capital yi minus capital Yn bar whole square. So n sigma square is equal to n minus 1 s square, capital S square. Similarly, small n s square is equal to small n minus 1 s square. Now, we go to another definition, that is sampling distribution. The grouped frequency distribution of statistics so obtained by taking a sample of size small n taken from a population of size capital N is called sampling distribution of the particular statistics. For example, a population consisting of capital N units. If you want to take a sample of size small n, then we can select capital N Cn samples. For each of these samples, we can calculate a statistic, say T. Statistics are generally denoted by T. Parameters are generally denoted by theta. Theta is equal to mu sigma square, capital S square, rho, beta, etc. Whereas statistics are generally denoted by T. That is small yn bar, small s square, R, B, etc. These are statistics. Now, for any particular statistic T, we can calculate that particular statistics for all these NCN samples. These NCN samples having not always the same statistic. These statistics may vary from one sample to another sample. But these statistics may be same for some samples and may be same for some samples, may be vary from some other samples. Hence, these statistics, these NCN statistics can be framed into a tabular form consisting of two columns. The first column is statistic. Second column is frequency. T1, F1, T2, F2, T3, F3, etc. Ti, Fi. Then this frequency distribution is called sampling distribution of the statistic T. For example, a class consisting of 20 students. A sample of size 2 is taken. Then we can take 20 C2, that is 20 into 19 by 1 into 2. That is 190 samples can be possible for taking samples of size 2 from the population of size 20. Then for each of these 190 samples, we can calculate the average marks. The average marks of each of the sample is sum of the two students' marks by 2 will give the average mark for these samples. Some samples have same value, even the students may vary. Hence, these statistics can be grouped into a frequency distribution. That is, first column is statistics and second column is frequency. This table is called sampling distribution of the statistic T. That is for mean. Sampling, first column is means. Y1 bar, Y2 bar, etc. Yn bar. Second column frequency. F1, F2, etc. Fy, etc. Fn. Similarly, we can calculate sampling distribution for variance, standard deviation, correlation, regression, correlation ratio, multiple correlation coefficient, partial correlation coefficient, etc. So, this is the sampling distribution of the statistic. Now we go to, for the sampling distribution, we can calculate mean of the sampling distribution, variance of the sampling distribution, standard deviation of the sampling distribution, correlation of the sampling distribution can be computed using the sampling distribution. That means we can calculate the statistical constants for each of these sampling statistics of the sampling distribution. For each of these sampling distribution. In a similar way, we can calculate mean of the sampling distribution of the statistic and variance of the sampling distribution of the statistic, hence standard deviation of the sampling distribution of the statistic. The standard deviation of the sampling distribution of the statistic is called, it's a standard error. So what is meant by standard error? The standard deviation of sampling distribution of a statistic is called, it's a standard error. Actually it is not an error, but the others it will call as a standard error. That is standard error of T. It is denoted by SE within brackets T. So for example, standard error of x bar is equal to sigma by root n. Standard error of s square is equal to square root 2 sigma 2 by n into sigma, because of variance of s square is equal to 2 sigma power 2 sigma square by n. Now we go to original subject, that is estimation. Estimation means the method of assessing the parameter using statistics is called estimation. The population parameters can be computed in certain circumstances, and the population parameters cannot be computed in certain circumstances. Even can be computed in certain circumstances, but the resources are very limited. The resources are very restricted. In those cases, we must depend upon sample. And from this sample we can calculate statistics. We can calculate the parameters via statistics. What it is called? Estimation. Estimation means the method of assessing the parameters using statistics. In this case, statistics is not the subject. In this case, statistics means the statistical constants computed from sample observations, what are called statistics. We have already explained earlier. So, estimation means the method of assessing the parameters using statistics is called estimation. Estimations are mainly two types. One is point estimation and second one is interval estimation. Now we go to what is meant by point estimation. This point estimation means the method of estimation in which the estimated value can be given by a particular value using sampling is called point estimation. For example, the estimated cost of a building before its construction is 12.25 lakhs. This type of estimation, it is based on the labor cost, material cost, all put together will give an estimation given by a builder is 12.25 lakhs. This is point estimation. Another example, the estimated distance between this city A to city B is 9.3 kilometers. This type of estimation is called point estimation. This point estimation theory was developed by Ronald Augustus Fisher, R.A. Fisher, who is the father of the statistics. Who is the father of the statistics? Who is the Indian father of statistics? Mohanlabis. Whereas, father of statistics is R.A. Fisher. He was developed this theory of point estimation. Whereas second one is interval estimation. The method of estimation in which the estimated value cannot be given by a particular value, but can give an idea in which range it falls. But cannot be given by a particular value, but can give an idea about in which interval it falls, in which range it falls, in which two values lies in between, can be given by a method what it is called interval estimation. What is meant by interval estimation? The method of estimation in which the estimated value cannot be given by a particular value, but can give an idea in which range the parameter lies, is called interval estimation. This interval estimation was developed by J. Neyman. Now we go to discuss about point estimation. So in the point estimation, what is meant by estimate? The parameter which is to be estimated, the parameter which is needed to be estimated is called estimate. The parameter which is to be estimated using statistics is called estimate. Next one is estimator. What is meant by estimator? How can we estimate the parameter? Using statistics. A particular statistics is given as the value for the parameter. The statistic which is used to estimate the parameter is called estimator. You know the distinction between estimate and estimator. The parameter which is to be estimated, the parameter what is to be estimated is called estimate. Example, whether the rice is boiled or not from a bowl of boiling rice. That boiling of the whole rice is parameter. For that we can take a sample. A spoon of rice is taken from the bowl of boiling rice. That spoon of rice is sample. Your mother can test the characteristics of that spoon of rice only. That means she computed only the statistics. What statistics she computed for assessing whether the rice is boiled or not, that what it is calculated is called estimator. What it is to be computed, what it is needed to be computed is called estimate. That is the distinction between estimate and estimator. For estimating a parameter, there are infinite number of estimators are there. Not only a single estimator or two estimators are there for a parameter theta. There are infinite number of estimators t. Infinite number of estimators for t. For estimating theta, there are infinite number of t's are there for estimating for a single parameter theta. Among the estimators, some estimators are very close to the parameter in terms of its value, in terms of its characteristics, in terms of its performance. Some statistics, some estimators which are far away from the parameters. in terms of its characteristics, in terms of its performance, in terms of its value, whatever may be. Among the estimators, some of the estimators which are very close to the parameter are called good estimator or best estimator. So, we have defined it now, that is good estimator or best estimator. What is good estimator? Among the estimator, which estimator is very close to the parameter. Among the estimator, which estimator is very close to the parameter is called good estimator or best estimator. So that is the definition of good estimator. In the examination point of view, define what is meant by good estimator. So now we go to what are the main characteristics for a good estimator. This is one of the most important question for the examination point of view. This question is frequently asking in the examination. That is, what is meant by good estimator, and explain the main characteristics for good estimator. Once we review what we have learned earlier, what is meant by population? The aggregate of the whole objects under study for finding a character or characteristics is called population. What is meant by population? The aggregate of the whole objects under study for finding a character or characteristics is called population. The population may be finite or infinite, and the population may contain animates or inanimates. Population is otherwise called universe, and the population observations are generally denoted by capital Y1, capital Y2, etc., capital Yi, etc., capital Y, capital N. And the ith population observation generally by capital Y. Some others may use, instead of Y, some others may use X also. And the number of observations in the population is called population size. It is generally denoted by capital N. That is, capital N may be finite or infinite. Next one is parameter. What is meant by parameter? The statistical constants computed from population observations or the characteristics of the population are called parameters. These are generally denoted by theta. Example, population mean mu, population variance sigma square, population standard deviation sigma, population correlation coefficient rho, population regression coefficient beta, population correlation ratio eta, etc. These are all parameters. These are generally denoted by theta. These parameters can be computed in certain circumstances and cannot be computed in certain circumstances. So, we will search for an alternative to determine parameters. That's why we use the term sample. What is meant by sample? A finite subgroup of the population is called sample. And the statistical constant computed from sample observations are called statistics. Sample observations are generally denoted by small y1, small y2, etc., small ya, etc., small y, small n, or small xi, small x2, small x1, small x2, etc., small xi, etc., small xn. And the number of units in the sample is called sample size. It is generally denoted by small n. That is, small n is always finite. And the statistical constants calculated from sample observations are called statistics. These can be computed in all practical conditions. That is sample mean, sample variance, sample mean square, sample correlation coefficient, sample regression coefficient, etc. Next one is sampling distribution. The grouped frequency distribution of sampling distribution, the grouped frequency distribution of a statistic by taking samples of size small n from a population of size capital N is called sampling distribution of the statistic T. Suppose a population consisting of capital N units. If you want to take a sample of size small n, then we can take n samples. For each of these samples, we can calculate a statistic, say T, say T1, T2, etc. These Ti, let Ti occurs Fi times. That is T1 occurs F1 times, T2 occurs F2 times, Tn occurs Fn times. Then these Nc and Tis can be framed into a tabular form, is called sampling distribution of the statistic. For the sampling distribution, we can calculate standard deviation. The standard deviation of sampling distribution of a statistic is called its standard error. It is generally denoted by SET. Next one is estimate. What is meant by estimation? The method of assessing the parameters using statistics. That means the method of assessing theta using T is called estimation. The estimations are mainly of two types. One is point estimation, another is interval estimation. The first one, point estimation. The method of estimation in which the estimated value can be given by a particular value using statistics is called point estimation. It was developed by R.A. Fisher. Next one is interval estimation. The method of estimation in which the estimated value cannot be given by a particular value but can give an idea in which range it falls, in which range it lies, is called interval estimation. This was developed by Neyman. And next one is what is meant by estimate and what is meant by estimator. The parameter what is to be needed to be computed using statistics is called estimate. The parameter which is to be computed, which is to be estimated, which is to be assessed is called estimate. Estimator. Next definition, estimator. For estimating parameter, we can depend on statistics. The statistics which are used to estimate the parameter are called estimators. For example, for estimating the parameter mu, we can calculate yn bar, small yn bar. Then small yn bar is estimator and mu is estimate. How many statistics for estimating a parameter? There are infinite number of estimators are there for estimating a parameter. Among the estimators, some estimators which are very close to the parameter. That estimator is called good estimator or best estimator. Now we go to explain the main characteristics of good estimator. So my dear students, I have completed lesson number 1 of your unit 1, estimation theory of your 4th semester statistics paper, inference theory. So we will meet in lesson number 2 of the same unit. So thank you.